cooking. Today we are making braised lamb shanks with polenta. And I'm going to show you how to make a polenta that's more nutritious with more protein to help feed your family. But first, before we even get that far, this is what you're going to have to chop coarsely. Is 4 carrots, 4 celery ribs, 2 onions, and you're going to crush or smash 4 cloves of garlic. All right, put that in a bowl and put it on the side. I've already done. Well, my son said, Mommy, can I help you a bit before I head to bed? So he did that for me. So no reason, because he wasn't going to be through the whole meal. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what he did. So that's what you need. And you need them coarsely chopped and the garlic smashed. Now, we're going to talk about lamb shanks. When you go to a store, just a regular grocery store, when they sell you a lamb shank, they're going to cut all of this part off, and that's what you're going to pay for. When you have a butcher, you get them like this. Butchers are not cheap. For some strange reason, butchers understand you need meat, and they make sure if you're going to eat, you know. So I got this recipe's for 4, but because there's only 3 of us, I said, no, I'm just going to buy 3 for us. You're going to need a large frying pan. I'm not kidding. These are going to have to fit in a frying pan. And we're going to put the heat on, and we are going to braise these. Braise means we're going to brown them. Now, when you sear, there's no oil in the pan. There's a difference of the two. So let me go ahead and get the flame under this. I'm using a nose stick because I know they're going to stick some, and I don't want them to stick too much. So I put about a tablespoon of oil in a pan to braise these with. And before we braise them, I don't like using kosher salt, but they tell me they want me to heavily salt these lamb shanks. Now, I've already rinsed them. Let's see if I can move this. I did tighten my phone up. So the vegetables are already chopped. My son did that. But they want you to use, how do they call it? Yeah, well, they're calling it kosher salt. Okay, different terms for different salts. They're of different degrees of saltiness, believe it, though they're all salt. They all have a different degree of salt. They want you to go heavily salting these. Don't ask me why. Rub it in, that's what I'm going to do. So that's heavily salted. For me it is. We're going to get this pan. It's going to take a bit for us to braise these, so we're going to be at it for, I think, about 20 minutes. They want it over medium-high heat, and we are going to spend 20 minutes doing this. I'm just waiting for the oil to get hot. And good morning, everyone. Tris, lamb shanks. Yeah, when you go to a butcher, you can get some pretty big pieces. I think that's why my mother hated buying meat at the store. Whereas a butcher, she could get exactly what she wanted, and we have a good butcher who likes you. He always makes sure you eat well. Good morning, Young. Yeah, I'm just going to say Young. So let me get you over here. We're also going to be using red wine. You know what? Get your pan medium-high heat. We're going to braise these because I need to get the food processor. We're going to be grinding these vegetables up that we've chopped. Hi, Touch, and good morning. Lamb shank. Oh, thank you for the 4-leaf clover. And the flower, thank you, young Spelling. Saturino, thank you for the flower. The other one went too fast, I didn't get it. This is lamb. Oh, thank you. You guys are going fast. Generic. Sitar. My name is Cody. Okay. Thank you, Cody. Adam. It's not horse meat. Lamb shanks. Oh, they fit in this pan. Oh, dang. I might only get 2 at a time. Let's see if I can get 3 in here. You need a big pan for those. When you get them from the store, your 3 will fit in there with no problem. But these are huge from the butcher. Well, we're going to serve this with polenta, which will really, really be nice. And what vegetable? I have not decided yet. Okay. No. Have me. Okay. Yeah, you're in my kitchen. EJ, good morning. Good morning to all of you. All right, let's get the food processor and start doing this. Now, all the vegetables I told you to coarsely chop, they're going in the food processor. Puree this to a coarse paste. Okay. I hope you all had a wonderful evening. Celery, carrots, onion, and garlic. Lamb shanks with polenta today. Yeah, that's fine. This stuff out of the sink. I don't have any oil. Just put this in a bowl. We'll get to this in a bit. So we're just getting it ready. So I hope all of you had a wonderful evening or day, whatever time it is. we'll get over to the lamb pan. Okay, Buck, Richard, Terrace, okay, EJ. Okay, Celeste. Okay, as you guys go at it. Yeah, I did. Yesterday I talked about, no, today is Monday, no, Saturday. I talked about what happened Saturday. It was no, Sunday I told you. Yeah, yesterday I told you. I went out, my son took me to dinner. Let me see if I can get the restaurant. What was that restaurant called? Oh, it's a French restaurant. He's up, so I'm going to let him tell you what restaurant he took me to, because I can't pronounce it at all.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The restaurant I took my mother to is Le Grande Bouchiere. It's the Bouchiere is Boucherie. La Grande Bouchiere on West 53rd Street.
There, now he told you where I ate that. I couldn't pronounce it, but I knew it was French. Good morning, all of ER, Richard, Cynthia, Celeste. Wait, God, you guys are moving quick this one. New Zealand, Cynthia, good morning. Good morning, JC, Terrace. Terrace, where'd you ever come up with that one for? Pizza? Oh, okay. I tried a lot of different places and different kinds of food, which is nice, which is real nice. The one thing I can't do is cook Asian food. Definitely I was told that. After attempting to teach me, Wong said, give it up. I said, okay, Wong. I gave it up. Wong, it was called Hung Fats in Chinatown in Lower Manhattan. We didn't get what the customers got. We got what the workers got. And that food was so rich and delicious. We just went in there and he knew exactly what he was going to serve us. Wong had to go back because he was the older son. He had to go back to China because his father died and he had to take over their estate. Celeste, good morning, Gallup. Good morning, VC in Texas. Yeah, you're a little bit behind me. Vanilla, are you being cute or trying to be? Good morning, Joseph, EJ, Ben. Thank you. Yeah, one woman said I wasn't American because I had a nose, and she was really upset about it. She wrote on this long dissertation. And I said, well, okay. 516. They're not short ribs. These are lamb shanks. Okay? Ben Celeste, VCS. You sound like a pharmacy. Vanilla. Dash. Good morning to all of you. Richard, good morning. Okay, Richard. They said this could take 20-30 minutes just to get this step done, and they said do not shorten it. Alex, hi. Richard. Oh. EJ. Thank you, EJ. Ale. I'm going to call you Ale. Alejdandro. I'm just going to call you Ale. So anyway, we're going to be at this for a while. Okay. Continue this way, just get in here. Well, they said this might, I might have to take one out just to get these things brown. But I just don't have enough room here. So I'm going to take this one out and we'll come back to you in a bit. Just let me put it over here for now. I can't. I've got to get these really brown. You have to do two at a time. I am braising them right now, vanilla. I have oil in my pan, see? And I'm braising them right now. Thank you. The villain. Sam, good morning. 29 lamb shanks, and we're going to make them with polenta. And I'm going to show you how you can make your polenta more nutritious and get it done properly. And we'll season it up with bay leaf and cheese and get it going. Lamb shanks, braised lamb shanks. We're going to be baking them too. I'm just trying to get them really brown. So I'm going to have to do two at a time. I just don't have room for that other one. It sounds good when you think about it, because the polenta we're going to be making, a lot of Americans call polenta corn mush, okay? That's a slang for polenta, which is the proper terminology of it. This one will have bay leaves in it, and it's also we're going to put butter in it, and we're going to put cheese in it. So it's going to have a lot of good flavor when we do it. But it takes a bit, and it's going to work your arm, but it's really worth it going these extra steps. But we're also going to be adding powdered milk to it, which will pick that protein way up. good morning. Shay, lamb shanks. BC. No, this is not breakfast. This is dinner. I haven't had breakfast yet. Okay. EJ. Nemo. Okay. So I am literally making dinner is what I'm doing. So the polenta going with this dish is going to have a lot of flavor as well. And when you do that, everything that you eat is so rich. The food goes further. Your family doesn't get hungry as fast, and they enjoy it. It brings a nice pleasantness to the household as well. And then you dress the table up. I mean, not like you would dress it up for Christmas, but just being able to put the forks, knives, and spoons, and napkins and stuff in an order, and you have the dishes laid out around. It really brings the whole family together. Okay, Momo. Mo, I guess. Shay, baby. I am in America. Thank you, 29. I grew up with my mother. I used to wake up with beautiful smells in the house. I mean, we all did. We smelled pancakes, eggs, cereal, something, but the smells were there. And when we walked home from school, there were no air conditioners, so believe you me, we smelled everybody's meal because mothers were home cooking. Today you can walk by a whole bunch of houses and not smell anything. Salt's already been on it, for sake. Okay. Simplify, George. I am 73 now. That's why I told you what one of my sons did for me for my birthday. Thank you. It's a very old one. My husband got it and he said, I like you wearing that around the house. Yeah. Okay, Richard. Yeah, my son posted videos of the meal that we had. I didn't know he was doing it. I was enjoying my food. I had to leave one piece of dessert. I had no more room. I belched and belched, trying to make room. I had no more room for the last bite. I said, I can't. There's just no more room in there. These are brown and nice. Yes, it's going into the oven for 3.5 hours. Good morning, Range. EJ. Thank you, Timmy. I fight very hard to hold on to my health. So I do everything to make things as nutritious as I can. Lamb shanks. Okay, EJ, enjoy your day or your evening. I don't know which one it is. I know some of you are going to bed, some of you are getting up, some of you are going to work, some of you are at work. I mean, everybody's everywhere trying to get things done. And those that aren't on are probably sleeping and getting a good night's rest. How's that? Okay. I'm going to put you over here because I have to get here. Now we'll finish browning this one. Lamb shanks. Okay, EJ, I know you have to go. Detroit, okay, you're in the Midwest. And that's what my sons do. He said, Mommy, I want to, we didn't cook Saturday. He said, I want to help get this going before I go to bed. So he was chopping all the carrots and everything else for me. That's why I didn't show you chopping them. But they want them coarsely chopped and then run through the food, you know. And then people, when you have somebody in the kitchen and they're doing it, people want to come in and help because they want to see how it's put together. This is why I do this live and try to explain all of this to you. Well, we're definitely having polenta with it, and I'm going to see what vegetables. So I did not go shopping because I got a ton of vegetables and stuff in the house. I might serve pickled fennel with it, and I might do turnip greens. I'm not sure yet. Michael, I think you're pulling everybody's leg on that statement. You knew what a bazooka was. Okay, you're going to need a baking dish, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not want them to stick, you better grease them. Primal, I grew up in the South, in Texas, but I'm not now. I'm in the Northeast. I'm actually greasing the baking dish. Well, that's doing that. So if you don't grease your baking dishes, you're going to find everything sticking to them, unless you're using everything no stick. But then they only last a little while. Now, I noticed that they now have a lipstick that I used to use as a young teenager learning to wear makeup. And it's a lipstick that I used to find in the store. It was clear, and you wore it, and it had no color to it. But when you put it on, the lipstick would take to your lips and all. And I see that they're bringing it back again. And they're saying that it's new. It's not new. It's very old. I remember when it came out. Now, as these lamb shanks brown up, you're going to put them in a roasting pan. Yeah, we're going to roast them. Okay, so we're going to roast this one some more. I told you it was going to take a while for this. Yeah, I'm thinking of it. Turnips with their greens, I'm not sure. What temperature are we going to be roasting these at? Okay. Set your oven at 400. So next week, this weekend coming up, which is like 4 or 5 days away, Friday or Saturday, I will be making coffee muffins, and remind me not to leave the sugar out, okay? And according to what kind of coffee you use, it's going to dictate the flavor of it, okay? So that's how it's going to work. I like some vegetarian dishes, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to be making coffee muffins. I have to buy, she wants to add chocolate chip. I don't want chocolate chip on it. I want vanilla chips in mine. So I'm going to change it around. Make an extra strong cup of coffee. Well, I have the coffee substitute, which is chicory root. But people have had that for a long time. Hi, Zakar. Sugar. I forgot the sugar in the coffee muffins, and they were so bitter. I said, oh my God, I'm going to have to redo this. Yeah, I'm going to use vanilla chips instead of chocolate. Yeah, well, we have to try. They were so bitter. I said, oh, you definitely need to put sugar. But I think I want to use light brown sugar in it. with regular sugar, with that combination, I think it would be nice and give it more flavor. I'm going there, you know. Oh, it was easy. It was with where it said to use instant coffee, and I didn't want to use instant coffee, so I bypassed it, and the sugar was right under it. And that's where I made my mistake. So when you take a recipe and you're redoing the whole thing, you know, you can miss something. Okay, Michelle. Okay. So I think either Friday, I think I want to do it Friday afternoon so I can wake up and have coffee muffins. I think that would be nice. Yeah. Probably after I go shopping Friday in the afternoon because I know my family's going to all be gone. We'll sit there and make them again. Richard, that's the best thing to do. Yep, this upcoming Friday in the afternoon. Because I have to unpack the groceries, and I'm going to start making mustard. So if you want to know how to make mustard, we'll also be doing that Friday. I have to get everything together for that. I just got the white wine to make it. So it'll be this upcoming Friday. We'll start making mustard, and I'm definitely going to be making those coffee muffins. So when you wake up Saturday morning, you'll have muffins. And beautiful ones. You won't have to have coffee. They'll already be in there. Yes, it's going to be alive. I didn't even know what streaming was. It took me forever to figure that out. And I said, what do they mean streaming? They mean live. Well, I said, why don't they use the word live? He said, this is the way the computer. I said, okay. This is sweet. I'm not kidding. These things are very large. Jose, I have a lot of recipes. If you want to see them, there's a lot of videos, over 2,900 of them. And now we've got live, I'm sure, over 3,000 now giving recipes. Elena, good morning. The time is, sorry about that, 5:34. Well, I give ideas to show people. I also talk about nutrition, which deters people because they don't want to hear it. Because they'd like to think, well, this is my punishment from God or something. But we actually punish ourselves more. And then when your body doesn't work, you get angry and you don't want to admit it's what you've done to the body. And now you're paying the price of what you've done to the body. People like to blame God and say, well, this is my life because this is what God wants. No. God wants you to be happy, but we end up ruining it. Okay, Richard. I am doing well, James. Casual. Let's see. Linda. Lamb shakes, Linda, and how are you? Elena? No, mine's AM. Ugh. Me and dieting do not work well. But if you want to help lose weight, I gave a homemade tomorrow recipe, but that's under people who joined. That was to keep the children away from it. I didn't want the children to get a hold of it. Casual? Yeah. Some people are casual cookers. Some people just cook a few dishes and they keep on because they're under so much stress. They cook the same thing. I've been there when my husband was very sick and I was caring for him. I have all these great ideas, but this wasn't functioning up here because I was so worried about him. That happens sometimes to people. Okay, let me turn this down now. This is getting hot. Okay, you're going to ditch that olive oil and you're going to put some more in the pan. I guess about a tablespoon should do it. Okay, now you're going to add, where did the pureed vegetables. This is why I'm using a nose stick. You should use it on this recipe. So see, a lot of things that you see today, they say are new. They're not really new. They had them before, but people quit using it. They change it a little bit and they put it back. So there's really nothing new under the sun. The computer is not new. The computer does everything that we used to use our head for. We used to figure it out, but we're letting the computers think for us, so we're becoming more stupid. We should be thinking and doing that. I had to remember telephone numbers. I even remember the telephone number, Fleetwood 82023, which was our phone number when I was a little girl. And I remembered when it was changed because James was giving the number out to every girl and she was calling. So my father couldn't take it anymore, so he changed the number and it became Fleetwood 81797. Okay, we're going to cook these for a good while. And they want us to go a little heavy on the salt. I am not using any more kosher salt. I don't care what she's. We're going to, as they say, salt heavily on this. It's okay. She must like a lot of salt. So it seems like we're still on medium-high cooking. Now, some people are heavy-handed with salt. I use salt, but I'm not real heavy-handed with it. There are some dishes, like curries, I know I have to add more salt to. But my mother was heavy with salt. I'm not. But remember, the more salt you use, it's also one that causes high blood pressure. So if you're having coffee and a lot of salt, sooner or later you'll end up with high blood pressure, and then you're going to have to sit there. They'll give you water pills and give you medication for the blood pressure, and if you swell up, they'll give you a medication also that will sit there and hide what it's doing. And they'll tell you to cut back on your salt, not realizing coffee as well affects high blood pressure. And so you'll say, well, then I'll have tea. Well, regular tea is high in caffeine as well, which causes high blood pressure as well. As you say, well, then I'll have sodas. Well, sodas are high in caffeine, and that's going to do it. You say, well, at least I'm going to eat chocolate. No, chocolate's high in caffeine, too. This is why you don't see me using a lot of chocolate. But I do like some things with chocolate. I love a German chocolate cake. I love brownies, you know. But that's why I want to make, when I make the coffee muffins, I am going to use vanilla chips instead. I think it'll give it a creamier, nicer one, and I think the brown sugar mixed with sugar, I have to get the ratios down. I think that's going to add to it, and we're going to have a really nice muffin. My mother, to get rid of my sinus problems that I have them mild but not real bad, tonsils and adenoids. She got them removed when I was little. Richard, that would be very nice. If you'd like, I'll give you the ingredients that you need, and then you can, I'll do come cook with me, and we will make coffee muffins. I'll give you ingredients, but remember, I'm throwing it around in my head still. No, come cook with me. Okay, here's the ingredients. I'm still working putting them together, so please understand that. You're going to need all-purpose flour. You have wheat flour. I'm still debating if I want to use wheat flour in them or not. We're going to need baking powder. You're going to need cinnamon. You're going to need salt. You're going to need coffee. Okay, I'm not making the instant coffee, so we're going to you have to make your coffee according to which coffee. If you use a strong flavor, the coffee flavor is going to be stronger. If you use a weaker one, it's going to be different. I'm going to be using a strong one that's Ticino coffee, which is chicory root, so mine's going to have a different flavor. Everybody's going to have a different flavor according to the coffee that you're using. All right, we need sugar. Now, I'm thinking of light brown sugar and white sugar, but if you have dark brown as well, I keep them because I haven't decided what I'm doing yet, but I'm leaning towards the light brown, all right, with regular sugar. We're going to need some milk. You're going to need butter. We're going to need eggs, we're going to need vanilla, and vanilla chips, okay? So as you can see, this is really going to bump it up. But I cannot believe I forgot the sugar because it was right under the other stuff. Now when we're done making these muffins, you're going to need cinnamon because we're going to dust the tops of them with it, okay? So that's what you're going to need. You'll need a muffin tin. We're only going to be making 12 of these. And, and one other ingredient we're going to need. Nutritional flakes. It's large flake nutritional yeast. This is just to add B vitamins. If you cannot find this, we'll sit there and use whole wheat flour in place of it to make sure that we get those B vitamins, all right? So if you cannot find this, we'll just get the whole wheat flour and we'll work with it, and I'll show you, because you can maneuver with these different ways once you know what you're doing, and I'll walk you through it. And you'll need shortening to grease your muffin tins to keep them from sticking and burning. I think this is enough to make another pot. The coffee that I'm going to be making is Dandelion Dark Roast. And this is from Tecino, Teeccino. And it's coffee-free, acid-free, caffeine-free, gluten-free, and prebiotic. And that's what I use as coffee now because caffeine affects me. Hi, PG. Linda. Kimberly, good morning. Richard. Okay, so if you can't find those yeast flakes, believe you me, you'll find them at a health food store, but if they don't have them and you can't find it, wheat flour will substitute just as well. You just make it a little different, that's all. How long is this going to take to cook these things? Well, this is a no stick, so I don't know if it's going to work. They want these to brown, but as you can see, they're not really doing it yet, so we keep on going. Yeah, I'm using that yeast. It's not the kind you make bread with. These are flakes that you add for more nutrition. We're going to use those to cover for those B's and minerals that we need. That's why I'm using that. But if you don't have it, we can also use whole wheat flour. Just make sure you keep it in the whole wheat flour in the refrigerator or in the freezer. Now, when we go to make this, I'll be showing you different ways that you can get that flour. So if you just have whole wheat and you don't have the yeast flakes, you can use that. If you have the yeast flakes, we use the yeast flakes. This way you can balance now. Using the yeast flakes also will not give you, a lot of people don't like whole wheat. They think it's too heavy. They think everything should be airy. I know I went through cooking, so I understand that, but I'm not like that. I want something that when I eat, it doesn't go mush in my mouth. I want to taste it. Well, come on, you're going to have to brown sooner or later. They're drying out, maybe they'll start browning now. We need 1 cup of tomato paste. I cannot tell you how much it is. You're on your own with that. It's either going to be 2 or 3 cans. It's probably going to be 2 cans of tomato paste, I think. Yeah, 2 cans of tomato paste. Just a little less than 2 cans. But very, very close. Okay. Okay, now you're getting where you're supposed to be. Okay. Hi, Patrick. Blue. I'm getting. Okay. Celeste. Dallas, Texas. I went to Dallas one time to see Otto Guthrie. Linda. I've never had possum. Sorry. Long Bong. Uh, Patrick. Whatever. Some of them I can't sit there and figure out what you're saying. This is getting hot. Okay. They want it sort of brown. That's what we're working on right now. She calls this crud. Stir it around. And she said, do not skimp on this pot. Okay, so we're not skimping. Hi, Kimberly. Good morning. Oh, well, I just lost that name. Pro. I'm just going to say Pro. Linda, GM, good morning. Patrick. Okay, well, some of you make fun, some of you carry on, others don't. Everybody's got their opinion. Yes, I know it's browning some and almost like it's burning, but that's what she wants. Lamb shanks. What do you want me to do after this? I think it's hard. Now listen, I'm not going to encourage any of you to buy a really expensive wine, but they want 2 cups of red wine. Get one, not the cheapest because it's too vinegary, but not the most expensive to hurt your pocket. Sort of hit something in between that you can afford. You're going to need 2 cups of wine. So I always tell people to do that. But I'm not going to put anybody in a poorhouse, you know. I put myself there, you know. I'm not going to ask anybody else to go there. So judge your income to what kind of red wine. I usually stick in the middle when I'm cooking. I don't know what you're talking about, Patrick. I'm sorry, I don't know the dishes you're talking about. Well, I know it's the internet. All right, now that it started brown, you're gonna add a whole, and I literally mean a whole cup of tomato paste. This food be better than this. You're gonna cook the tomato paste, believe it or not. And you're saying, but it's already thick. Yeah, I know, but we're cooking it. So you're just gonna keep on cooking it. They said it will really dry out. But it said like it's not already. That's what we're doing, is drying out the tomato paste. Add your wine, 2 cups. Stir to break up everything that's stuck to the bottom. We're going to let this reduce. All right, they're saying to add water. I'm going to be adding some vegetable stock. They're talking about adding 3 to 4 cups of water to this. But I want more of that vegetable. Flavor to go through this. I've added 2 cups. I'm going to add another cup. I think I'll add a cup of water now. My vegetable stock is very concentrated. Now they want 4 bay leaves. A lot of people don't like eating bay leaves. They'll sit there and say, take them out. My family, we eat bay leaves. They're very good for gas. No, I don't drink liquor. I'll cook with it. Now, rosemary. How much rosemary do you want? If you have fresh rosemary, God bless you. My rosemary is in. I have to wait till spring to get my rosemary. So they're talking about. They said 2 tablespoons of fresh rosemary chopped. Well, I don't have that, so I use what I have, which is dry. Put the lid. They want a thyme tied up, a bushel, you know, a little thing of thyme. I'm just going to put thyme in mine. Just leave it like that. All right, done all of that. Now what do you want me to do? Okay. Oh, it has a very unique smell. I've smelled this before. I'm very well aware of this. I know this smell. Put this over here. Getting you over here so we can sit there and put this together. All right. It does need more salt. Where did I put this? taste the salts to adjust for the salt. Mine needs more. Definitely more. They said to be a little heavy-handed on it.
I know you wouldn't understand this, but if you watch this, I think you would appreciate this.
Okay.
This is from back. I'll send it to you, but you may not understand it, but I'll teach you, okay?
All right. Hold on 1 minute. Sean, it's 6 o'clock. So I'm going to taste this sauce and see if I have enough salt. You can see that is it. Okay, they want you to cover it with foil tightly before we put it in. We have to check this about every 45 minutes, I reckon. Lamb shanks with polenta today. Now when you have to fold two pieces of foil together, you roll them together. Then when you go to lay them over, take the long way and tuck them under first before you do the rest of it. So it seals it in like one big sheet, unless you want to go and buy extra large foil. That was a trick my mother taught me. Well, this is going to be cooking for approximately 3 hours. All right, so that's going to be about 9:30. Then you're going to remove the foil, and then to help it to reduce the liquid. Okay, and they said serve it with lots of sauce. All right, so we're on this page now. So about 9:30, we'll be taking care of that. I got this recipe. Okay, now we'll get the polenta going. I haven't even had coffee yet this morning or anything except a glass of milk. All right, we're going to be making polenta. You're going to need salt, powdered milk, cornmeal. And remember, when you sit there and say corn mush, that is literally a slang for polenta. It's one and the same, except you can make it more nutritious. You can add flavors to it or whatever you want, whichever direction you go. Okay, so let me go get my stuff that I need. Okay, see you at 11. Okay. Now, powdered milk has no flavor. You can get. My husband is deceased. Um, my mother started me in the kitchen. Then Julia Child, James Beard, Adele Davis, and the ARE, and then all of my husband's friends. That's a personal opinion. You should not discourage different ways people make it. If it's not made properly, I can see why you don't like it. It's all right. It's been a while. I've gotten more accustomed to it, but sometimes it does bother me. And my husband did not train me, so quit looking like I'm a dog and that you could train. Chicken and dumplings, I can't find my grandmother's recipe. Some seafood dishes I do make as well. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to get rid of them, just go ahead. I mean, I spend all my time doing that. I won't get anything done in my kitchen. Bay leaves. Where in the heck did I put the rest of my bay leaves? Good. I'll be looking for them forever. He did it again. I told him. All right, I'll just use what I have. I can work with what I have. All right. I know this sounds like a lot that we're going to be doing. Don't worry about it. Where did I put my stock? All right. Now, when I make my polenta, it is not like everybody else's polenta, believe you me. A lot of people just put water, salt, and cornmeal together. Not me. I'm going to go in. Well, you should know me by now. If you've been following me long enough, you know I'm going to do something, which I always do. They want 10 cups of water. Listen, you can cut this recipe in half and in fourths and stuff if you want. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it like this, but I'm not following complete instructions, which is my problem sometimes. I am going to make my polenta more nutritious. Throw this out, Sam. You don't need this. Not only do I add powdered milk, the powdered milk, by the way, will have no flavor on the polenta. You don't have to worry about it. And I am going to use vegetable stock, which I made, which is 1.5 cups to the 10 cups of water. So I think I'm going to be getting a lot of vegetables. Go ahead and get this going. So remember, you can cut this recipe back. I mean, don't panic out. You said that's 10 cups of, yes, I know it is. And we're going to put a tablespoon of salt in this. I pulled them out. No, I did not. I have to make more salt. I don't have my salt. Now, you're saying, but you put the stock in, it's going to interfere with the flavor. No, because it's so little stock with the ratio that I've done that I know I can get away with it. This is why I play around a lot in the kitchen to get these things. Now, we need 4 bay leaves. I'm going to have to buy some more bay leaves, so I'm just going to throw in what I have, which is 2. And get more bay leaves. But you need 4 bay leaves in this. Okay. Let's get this lit. And we'll work. So whatever flavor I'm missing in the bay leaves, I'll be covering it. Because we're also going to add a lot of butter and cheese into this. So this is a very rich one. That's it, Sandra. Spark your finger. Oh, well, that's typical. All right, now we need a bowl. You get what you need, Sandra. Okay. All right, you need 2 cups of cornmeal. No, okay, half. Just using the cornmeal to hold the measuring cup while I fill it up. Okay, now I'm adding, in spite of the stock, to increase the protein, I've added my vegetables, so it'll be like getting more vegetables than normal. I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of powdered milk. Powdered milk I will mix with the cornmeal and I'll add it at the same time. And that's a lot of protein that I've just added to the meal. I've also added a lot of nutrition by doing this. So I've increased the nutritional value and the protein value of just these 2 dishes. The stocks I make from the peelings of my vegetables, and then I can it. I have bone broth. I should add bone broth in, as shaky as I am, but from that walk yesterday, but no, I think it'll interfere with this, so I won't do it. So when I go to pour this in, or I should say sprinkle it in, it'll be fine. You see? It's all mixed, so you don't have to worry. And the powdered milk helps because it's white. It helps bring out that yellow flavor, believe it or not. It almost has like a creamier texture to it, which is really nice. Now we need a stick of butter. Yes, a stick of butter is going in this too. So we're also going to need a stick of butter. And we're going to need 1 cup or more. You can add more if you wish of this Parmigiano Reggiano. Okay? So they're not exact on what you need on this. You're dealing with flavors. Okay, let me see. Which I like, so you can add more. If you don't like it, you can add a little less. So we got some gratering to do. Let's save this. So as you can see, this so-called, what you call corn mush, can be most entertaining. Okay, I guess all of you are talking to each other. You know, that'd be like a classroom, somebody's teaching and everybody's talking to everybody. Go ahead and ban them, Rich. You want to do it, go ahead and knock yourself out. They're not nice. Maybe the mother didn't raise them right, or maybe they're just too frustrated with life because nobody's acknowledging them, you know, insecurity. Like I learned something about facials, which really surprised me. The wrinkles on your face, what they say about you. I said, really? I didn't know that. And the guy said, look, I'm no scientist, but I've talked with people and they say, who has studied facial expressions and stuff, with people walking down the street. You can tell about them. I said, oh my goodness. Michelle, go ahead and remove them. All what you have to do is say, look, I look at it this way. I'm talking with you guys and I'm cooking, and if I sit there and start doing all this, you can just delete them. That's very nice of you. Thank you. All what you have to do is you delete them while I'm doing this, because I can't. If I do that, nothing gets done in my kitchen. If they don't want to learn or anything, they ought to go to another channel, you know. Let them go there and have fun. You know, that's how I look at it. Thank you for the sunshine, AJ. No, oh no, I do not, because somebody was doing it for me. I just said do it, and the females got tired and they just went and did it. I told them to get off. All right, that's about a cup, but I always like to add more into mine. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Let's see where we go with that. I still want to add some more to it. I'm not happy with that amount. Okay. You're just waiting for it to come to the boil. Now, if anything sticks on your pan, with the polenta or something, you find it difficult to clean or you burn something, put some water in it and boil it. Thank you. So Lucky Clover, times 4. Thank you. Just do that and boil it. It'll soften it up. That's what I do when I have pans that get burnt or something, or the polenta's difficult to get off, or eggs or something. Put some water in it and boil it. You'll be surprised. Yeah. I didn't buy cabbage. I have corned beef, but I'm going to be at my beautician's, and she says we're going to have pizza. I was supposed to go, but bad weather was coming in, and she told me don't come. She says, Annie, I don't want you to come. We'll make it Tuesday. So I was supposed to go Thursday, but we had bad weather coming in, and so I'm going Tuesday with her. Hey, New Yorkers, did you get your gas bill? Did you see how high it jumped? I almost had a heart attack when I saw mine. And then my son told me one of my friends is paying over $1,000, and I said, well, then I'm not going to complain. Mine's over 800. I said, dang, I did not expect this. I know they said it was going to go up, but I got to call them today to find out what in the name of God is going on. I mean, I got solar paneling, so my electric bill would be down. And I've got windows, Anderson windows, which really seals the heat in and leaves the cold out. And in the summer, it keeps the house cool and the heat out. So it's a reverse. It's really good. Well, whatever. I don't know what I is all about. So we have the cheese, and like I said, you can add more than a cup. We have our stick of butter ready. We're just waiting for the liquid to boil, and we've got the cornmeal, and we have the powdered milk in it, and we added the salt and bay leaves into the water. We're waiting for it to boil. Well, mine has stock in it. Oh yeah, my bill is $874. I said, do you think money grows on trees? You know, I can't afford this. I don't know how I'm gonna pay it. You know, I'm just really shocked it went up. I remembered less than a couple of years ago it was 100 and something, and then from there it jumped up to 300 and something, and now it's at 800. I said, this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous. Maybe we should go and start chopping down trees. You know? So they're going to be hearing from me today. I want to talk to them about that bill. I said I haven't done anything different. Okay? I'm using the same stuff that I used before. So why, you know, I have questions. And don't tell me kilowatts when I call them. Please don't tell me kilowatts, because that means nothing. They're going to have to explain ABC down to me. Beans and rice is a nice one. Pizza and beer. That sounds like a man. No, we have to wait for everything. There's nothing I can do right now. We're back at that. Oh my goodness. I am so thirsty this morning. Didn't drink a lot of liquids yesterday, so I'm thirsty this morning. Well, it's almost there. And we're going to be stirring this for about 30 minutes. So your arm is going to get extremely tired. But if you don't stir it, it's going to burn. And that's the one thing you don't want it to do is to burn. So you have to work at this. All right, CKU, Kilo, Mike. We've got lamb shanks in the oven baking in a sauce, a wine sauce. I'm going to say a wine sauce. And we're making polenta now, which you might know is corn mush. I always hated that name in Texas. That's all they ever said. Oh, you're having corn mush? No, we're not having corn mush. We're having polenta. Okay, no, I don't need this mixer. Whisk. The trick of this with polenta is not to get any lumps. If you get lumps, you fail at it. Believe me, I'm going to get lumps. I usually do. I'm already ready for it. All right? Now, the object is not to pour it all in at once. You just whisk. My caramel might be a little darker than yours, but that's because of what I did. I added some stock into mine. I'm not concerned about the color as much as I am about the nutrition. When I set everything together, is when I start worrying about color. See, if you add too much cornmeal at once, it lumps up together. So you add a little, and you whisk it like the dickens. And it should prevent you from getting that problem. But as it gets thicker, you're going to notice it's going to get harder to do. Now I gotta check the lamb shanks too, but I'm gonna be able to do that. They're gonna have to wait. If you see lumps developing, do not add it anymore until you whisk them in and then add more. Remember, it will burn into the corners first before it burns anywhere else. Make sure you cover those corners. You usually think just the center. So those corners will. Now it's getting thicker and it's getting harder to prevent the lumps from coming in. Joints are talking. This is one dish that drives me absolutely crazy, but it's so good. You're going to turn this flame down, and it will burn. I'm not lying to you. This is going to burn if you do not keep an eye on this. Now that my friend is talking to me, let me bring you in closer. I didn't want you to get splattered, so I was careful to keep you a little further back. No. Julia Child, yeah, she was one of my teachers. So now goes 30 minutes of stirring this. And you're going to say, but it's already done. No, it's going to actually get thick enough when we add the cheese and the butter. We stir it in there. We're going to put it into a greased 9 by 13. Let it cool, and then it comes out in nice little squares and stuff. You can cut them any shape you want. And polenta would go excellent with this, so that's why we're having it. But like I said, I had not decided what vegetable, but I'm thinking turnip and turnip greens. But I'll see what I have. Because there's already a lot of vegetables in this meal. Lamb shanks with polenta. Megan, okay. Harmony, Marley, hi and good morning, Jiggy, and Chance. Now your bay leaves may burn onto the bottom as much as you stir it, so what you have to do is to get them free, just add some water when you're ready to clean the pan. Put some water in it and boil it free. It'll help. This is polenta, better known as corn mush. So we're going to be at this for a while. But you can see, at first it was brown, but as I added the cornmeal, it overrolled the stock in color, so the yellow came back out. Okay, Marlon. Mac. Official XJ Jumpin' Official. Marlene, okay, well, welcome to America's Home Cooking. No, this I'm not baking. This one, when we're done adding the cheese and the butter, this is cooked a bit. We're going to sit there and we're going to grease a 9 by 13, or you could do another pan if you wish. I might use my 9 by 6, and we're going to pour it in there and let it sit for about 30 minutes, and it'll gel up and it'll hold its shape, and then you can cut it. No, some people bake it to dry it out. I'm doing it this way. Yeah, I might make a smaller one instead of putting 9 by 13. Do it a little different. So between the lamb shanks and then adding the stock with the vegetables that they had. We've just added a whole ton of vegetables. Then adding a cup and a half of vegetable stock here. With the powdered milk, the nutrition value skyrocketed in all directions. No. No. This is going to cook. Oh, we have another 16 minutes, and then we're going to add the butter to it. We're going to add the cheese to it and stir it up. Then we're going to sit there and grease a pan. And I better get my, is my shortening out? Yeah. I should say is my lard out. And I will grease it and put it in there, let it sit for about 30 minutes, and it will gel up beautifully. What am I making, Ken? I'm making lamb shanks with polenta. Official? Brittany, good morning. Gabriella, good morning. So see, your polenta doesn't have to be just what Texas call corn mush. You can season it, you can add cheeses to it, you can do all sorts of things with it. Neither can I. Yes, this is polenta that I'm making. And I can feel it wanting to stick on the bone. Believe you me, I'm going scrape, 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 and I can feel it through the spoon. This is another thing, is when you cook and you have these utensils, you can't put your hand down there and feel things because it's hot. So you've got to be able to project from your hand into the utensils that you're using to feel what's going on in the bottom that you can't see. Yes, it is, polenta. How old am I? I'm 73. Richard, Richard Drum, okay. That's why I told you what my son did for my birthday. It was very, very nice. Official, I don't know who you are. Yeah, when you do it that way, but it's not even thick enough yet, it still has to cook down. That's what we're doing now. So the polenta won't have that raw. A lot of people don't like the polenta because it has a funny taste to it because you haven't actually cooked it. You just heat it up and thicken it and that's it. But when you actually cook it like this, it has a much smoother taste to it. And then with the cheese and the herbs that you add into it and the butter, it really gives it a nice flavor. Maryland. Where are you from, Marlon? See, the trolls come on because they try to discourage people from going to channels and stuff, and they want to think that they can control membership, joining, and all. And their whole thing is to make you angry enough that you walk away. But when you ignore them, they don't know what to do with themselves. So they seem to be very insecure people in that aspect of life. You know, I've gone to some channels and have subscribed, and one woman was having trouble and I brought it to her attention, but it was like it went in one ear and out the other. I was only trying to help save her some money, but I realized, you know, not everybody's amenable on the channel. Here, they ask for help, and then when you give it, it's like, no. The gig, I am not leaving. Making polenta. Okay. Well, they did it. Marilyn, hi! I like darling. That is so cute how you did that. Don't worry, my arm's getting taut. Yes, it is. This recipe I like very much. My life, believe you me, as many whippings as I got, and my mother beat me sometimes, believe you me, you would not be happy. Today is lamb shanks in a sauce with polenta, and I'm still thinking about doing turnips with this, but I haven't decided yet. Thank you, the gig, for that. It is actually ground cornmeal with water is basic. That's the basic with salt. Now, when I make polenta, and a lot of Southerners call it corn mush, all right? But the basic is just cornmeal, water, and salt. But I like to, a recipe that you add bay leaves into the water, and I add stock into my water as well. So we're getting all these extra nutrients. Then we're going to be adding cheese into it, and we're going to add butter into it as well. And I added powdered milk for extra protein. So my polenta is not mush. It's actually very healthy for you. Thank you, Gina, very much. How many people have in the life? What's my favorite what? Okay, thank you, Kay. Gina. Yeah. So you can see that this is reducing as it cooks, so the polenta will not taste raw. Thank you, Jiggy, and thank you for joining. In my life, man, my backside was getting hit all the time. I had to deal with racism, which I refused to accept. I've a father who told me point blank that I wasn't, he resented me being born because he said I ruined his life. I don't remember being there when he was having sex with my mother, so I don't know why I was getting blamed for something I didn't have a hand in. A mother who betrayed me. A brothers, I have brothers. My older brother, I hadn't spoken with him for 50 years, and he calls me. What does he say? Like, I've been living 50 years without you, and I can't think for myself, you know? My younger brother, he said at point blank, he said, God, Sandy, you've taken all the beauty. You didn't leave anybody any. I fell out laughing. I said, oh my God, only you would say that. That's my younger brother. Yeah, Jean. One who didn't want children. My father did not want to get married, but he like I tell people, I probably have more brothers in Texas because my father couldn't keep his pants up, okay, or his zipper closed, and he said if I wasn't, he didn't want children, he just wanted the fun of sex, and that was it. But remember, at that time it was different. You're talking in the 50s, early 50s. It's not what you have today, where everybody's loose and spreads their legs all over the place. We were taught, tame yourselves. My father was there, but he told me point blank how he felt about me. And so he ended up in a shotgun marriage with my mother, and he resented it, and I seemed to be his resentment. And he told me point blank, I will not love you until you become an adult. And that's what he said. He never said, I loved you, Sandy. He never really said anything in that way. He was there, but he was always pretty much by himself. And And when I became adult, he said he loved me, and I said, well, I don't love you. Told him point blank, you know. Ginger. My father was the man, he took care. He wanted my mother to just serve us hot dogs and hamburgers, and he wanted to save the steaks and all. So my parents were always arguing. Some meals were thrown over his head. Oh, my mother was good. I told you she was tyrannical. No, they ended up in a divorce. Thank you. Willie, I think you say it. So I walked away from both my parents, never saw them again. They're both dead now. I hope that they've learned their lesson and that they can move forward from the karma and all. But I was getting some bad news. My mother's going to be my sister. You know, I didn't want to hear that. She said, she's coming back. You two haven't worked it out. I said, you mean she hasn't worked it out? Thank you. My father, did I forgive him? Yeah. I wish them, they're both dead now. But I hope, and this is how I look at it, I hope they learn their karma. I hope that they understand the cycle of life and that they can move forward and not fall back. If they owed people, then I hope they paid their debts to them and that they move forward. But the little girl in me, no, the hurt's there. It's always going to be there. I wouldn't trust them at this point if they said something to me because of the hurt. The hurt's too great in there. My father took all of those recipes. I finally crowbarred one out of my older brother, which is her cornbread recipe. A teaspoon baking soda, teaspoon salt, teaspoon baking powder, buttermilk, bacon grease, cornmeal flour, egg. That's her list, you know. I have one recipe I memorized, and that was how to salt beef. This is her recipe. 50 pounds of meat, salt. And that's what she wrote, and that was her recipe. And I said, well, gee, you could have written it down a lot better, and I'd know how to salt meat properly and store it. But that's how her shorthand was. So, you know, I wish their souls the very best, but I don't want to see them because I don't want the hurt anymore. I think that's the whole thing that drove me was I didn't want the betrayal anymore. I didn't want the hurt words anymore. Because when my father said, when he finally turned when I was adult and he said, I love you, I told him, fuck off and go to hell. You know, I was really mad at that point. Hey, lazy McCarroll, Mr. Carrot, Polenta right now. No, I didn't even know he died, but when my brother told me how he died, I died laughing. I said, that is so my father, you know. My father actually killed himself out of stupidity. Okay. I even had to put my older brother on notice. After not speaking with me for 50 years, he got in touch, and the first words out of his mouth was, how did my husband die? And I told him that was none of his business. And I told him, we're not going there. He didn't like that. High Gothic official Why do you want to know how he died? Because I enjoy the laughter so much. Really. Good morning, Jethro. Sandra, you have my name. Yes, we put bay leaf in it. We put vegetable stock with water in here and salt. The cheese and the butter will go in later. That's what I'm working to get to that point. As you can see, it is reducing, and I'm almost done doing this. So I think that I didn't hate. I ran away. Well, I didn't run away. Let's say that when I became the adult and I left, I didn't want to be hurt anymore, so I left the hurt behind. That's what it was. I didn't want to be hurt anymore. So that's how I look at it. Polenta. You know, I read a thing about a man, a true man who knows how to be a man, and then those that are like boys, and though they're in a full-grown body, they don't know how to be men. How you can tell the difference from a good man from a bad man, so you don't end up in a bad relationship, which is interesting. Now that I know how to read that, that's interesting. You can see this is really reducing, and it's going to be nice and thick. This is why you have to stir for 30 minutes to keep it from burning, but I can feel it trying on the bottom. Rye, Raw Willie, official, well, oh God, you guys move too fast. I don't know if you can hear that scraping on the bottom. That's where it wants to burn, and I'm trying to prevent it from doing that, because if you burn this, the flavor is gonna be going through it. And it gets thicker, it gets harder to prevent it from doing that. So we're talking a good 30 minutes doing this, stirring it to keep it from burning. Bye, Rihanna. Listen, you have a nice day, okay? Mono, hello. Annette, Anita. We're talking about polenta and it not burning. You could hear the scraping on the bottom. You can hear it's trying to stick, and I'm trying to prevent it. Rihanna, I know you have to go, so bye-bye. You have a nice day, Rihanna. Okay. See you tomorrow. ball. Oh my goodness. I told you this was going to take time. We have to stir it. Polenta and lamb shanks we're having today. I have 2 sons. Okay. Bye. And Andrew, Grits. I'll eat them. They're not my favorite cereal. They're supposed to have soy beans in it to give it the protein so it's not all starch, but you're not always guaranteed that. Like I proved to you on pasta boxes, you need eggs or a binder to hold the flour together, and they say just semolina flour, so they're not telling you everything that's in it. So you can imagine what else they're putting in the food that we do not know. Good morning, Bruce. Anita. Yeah. Yes, I have 2 cats. I said lamb shanks, and who in the heck is Martha Stewart? Okay? People keep on mentioning the name here. Who is Martha Stewart? I think she's the woman that she had to go to jail because of taxes or something she didn't do? Or she did something crooked? Okay. Nutrition. You're actually seeing nutrition. I've been working on it my whole life. So is your thoughts and actions from what I've just learned recently is that it expresses through your face, the wrinkles and stuff that you have on them. So I've been working with nutrition for a long time. I've made mistakes through it, corrected them after, you know. It's really getting thick now. It's really starting to stick. Okay, we've cooked it down that far. Okay, you're going to put a stick of butter in here. And a cup or more or less of cheese. I told you which one we're putting into this. We're going to stir this. So see, you can do a lot. Finish up the bread that I've made, we're going to be grinding up the flours and doing it and making Isaiah bread, okay? And we'll talk about the mill that I have. I really like this mill. I encourage you, if you're going to buy a mill, get this one. I'll talk about it for you. Good morning, Vince. I might have to get some more bones from my butcher. Oh, come on, do not stick on me. Yeah, you can feel it sticking. Done melting butter. Okay, let me grease this. Get it over here. Okay, let's get you over here, and we'll come back over here. Take your bay leaves out if you can find them. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy to find them, but get them out if you can. If you can't, they're probably burnt on the bottom. And that's why you'll have to boil it to get it off. I'm just looking for mine. I got one, and that's all. I didn't see it come out. Now I'm going to let this sit. And this will gel up very nice and hold its shape, and then it'll be ready to use. But I've got to move it. Oh, don't you dare. Okay, just put it to the side and let it gel up. Okay, now if you don't think this is burnt, in spite of all the stirring, see how it burnt? I'm just going to put water in it, boil it, and it will make that so much easier to come clean. Oh, Richard, if you're sleepy, then please, by all means, go to bed. All right, we need another one because we have to check this. And I know I'm late checking it. Sometimes you get one thing done, and the other one's calling you. Oh. What you're actually checking this for is to make sure it doesn't dry out. If it dries out, they say add some extra water to it. Oh, well, I don't have to worry. I'm going to put mine back in. I've got plenty of liquid. I just took a look at it. That's what I had to check it for. Give me back my pot holder, come on. Okay, so that's going to be cooking. Got that done. I don't know what vegetables. I'm thinking of turnip and turnip greens, but they've been in the refrigerator for a while, so they might not be right. Might go. No, changed my mind. I have yellow squash and I have beet greens. I could use them instead. That'll give me a nice color combination. I need to do that. All right, I need a cutting board. We need to rinse these off. So, no, not colored cut. I think I want the colors to be more green and yellow. I think the green would be better contrast. Oh, Sandra, you have no room. Yeah, if they only knew how much room I'm running out of. They would say, oh my God, do you know what you're doing? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Okay. Now I need a bowl. Just gonna wash them before I get them going. I usually leave my vegetables very simple. Because they have such a flavor that is so unique. Put this over here. So what are you guys going to eat today? Might as well ask you. Penny, Noah, good morning. Rocky, good morning. Am, good morning. Justa, good morning. Am, good morning. I thought the breath of life was a gift from God. I remember, because there are 12 tribes. Just a lot of people that might think that they're actually Gentiles might actually be really Jewish, but under a different tribe name. Oh, these are different colored beads. Okay. So nobody should blow anybody up, other, you know, about, oh, you're better than somebody else. Because I think doing that is going to anger God just as much, and thinking that you're a better race than anybody else. I think that's going to cause a lot of problems on Judgment Day. Because we're all really brothers and sisters. We all were created by our Father. And he might not look the way we think he looks. And that will be interesting. That would really be interesting, because people who said, I'm a superior race or something like that might find themselves in a very big pickle. You know? So I think about the Nazis who hated Jews, I know what God's going to do to them. Man, it's right there in front of you. If you believe in reincarnation, He'll make you come back and sit you the very thing that you hate. So if you're a racist, the race that you hate, I'm sure God will have you that color to come back. So I sit there and say, God is really good. Because people can't explain why they hate somebody. Do I really hate? No. I do get angry with people. But hate is such a word that you would want to actually take their life. You know, I mean, to hate somebody so much. Oh, I get mad with people. Yeah, I really do. But to hate, I couldn't even hate my parents. Every time I talk about it, I start crying. I mean, that's the hurt. That's not hate. That's not anger. That's hurt. A lot of hurt. But when you see your parents, not as parents, but as children, like an older brother or sister, from the spirit world, it just means they've been on the earth longer than you. I sort of look at it like that. Like I am older than my children, so I have more time in. But with people who were younger than him, or them, he becomes, what you would say, the older one, because he has more wisdom because he's been on the earth longer. You see? So when we come back around, let's put those, that's getting very large. I'll take it out today. So I think beet greens and yellow squash would be very, very nice. I'm going to do this like I do my other vegetables. Very little water. I'm not adding in salt until after it's cooked. So that way I can use this liquid, but if there's any liquid left, make sure I can use it in another place for flavoring. Now I'm going to put about 1/4 of an inch of liquid in a saucepan. Because remember, I don't want to cook the nutrients out of my greens. So my water is about this deep, okay? Very little. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and I'm going to put the lid on. So as soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to turn it down and let it, and on simmer, and I'm going to let it cook. That way all the nutrients will be held, and that's what I'm trying to do, is hold these nutrients. Then I'll get the squash out. Bring that to it. Now these vegetables, squash holds a lot of water in them. So we can't cut this small, because if you cut it small, all that liquid's juices all over the place. All right, you're just going to cut the tips off of these. Thank you, Reel. Okay, let's turn this down. Now, you could cut these small, and then you're going to end up with a lot of mushy squash. The thing is you want to keep, you don't cook this squash completely done, or it's going to turn to mush because it's going to continue cooking. So the thing is you want to cook it just to the point and then get it out of that pan, because if you don't, it's going to continue cooking. And you're going to have to cut big pieces because it is squash with a lot of water. So I cut really big pieces, you see? The bigger the pieces, the more they hold together. Well, good morning, Brooklyn. Oh, God. So by having them this size, it will prevent them from being soggy. Okay? That's the whole object of this. So am I going to use a lot of water? No. I'm pretty much going to use the same. You don't have to drown them in water. People say, well, cook them in vegetable stock or something. And I said, no, I'll just cook them, bring them to a boil like the other, and just simmer them. And then they come out really nice. But you have to keep an eye on these vegetables because they will run out of water. And remember, these have water, so they're going to be bringing more water out as you cook them. So make sure you put very little in there. So as they spill those juices in, it'll come up, and then by the time they're done, you have so little, you can save it and use it in something else to cook with. Now, beet greens are boiling. They're going down to simmer until further notice. Come on, light my match so I can get these going. Okay. That's a very simple way of doing vegetables. Now carrots, I know you're going to have to add more water because those are hard. So you understand there's some vegetables, but most vegetables can be done this way and make it easy. Pretty gold. I told all of you, if you wish, you can delete them while I'm cooking. I can't do all of this. And the people are not always on when I'm on because I'm on at an earlier hour. Oh, I'm going to need this. Okay. Polenta's done. Now we're checking the beet greens. They've only been on for a bit. And they have added more water to this. So I'm just going to let them cook. And I added very little. More water came in. I don't know why you people get political and all. You know, this is really a cooking channel. If you don't want to cook, just get up and leave. You don't like my conversations? Leave. You don't like me talking about my past? Leave. You don't like my opinion on something, then please leave. If you cannot be respectful, please be considerate of the people that are on this channel, that do wish to learn, are taking recipes and everything else. Do not be so rude. You're not welcomed for anything that you do. You think you know what a woman wants? You women, you know what a man wants? You really don't, because you don't take time to learn anything, and that's bad. It's just like at school. You must have not been popular in school, but you think you're smart and you really aren't. Just delete them. You know, that's how I feel. Just delete them. I can't do that. I'm doing all of this. I can't do 20 things at a time. And I shouldn't have to do 20 things at a time. These are coming out really, really nice. I think beets are done. Now if you want to know if your beets are done, all you do is take a knife, stab it with a stem, and twist it, and if they spread, your beets are done. Make sure you get a big one. So remember that we have vegetables also in the broth with the meat and in the polenta, and we're adding this as well. So we're covering our vegetables quite well. What we have to do is add some salt onto them. And here they are. We put them in a small bowl that I got Saturday. Where did I put it? Did I put it up already? No? Okay, so you just sprinkle some salt on them and that's it. I'm going to show you the liquid. So you don't have to put a ton of water in your vegetables. That's one. And here's the liquid that's left over. That's it. You see? Very, very easy to do this. Just have to have some patience and time. But nobody has time because everybody's in a rush. Okay, we'll turn you down. You finish cooking. And they're almost done as well. Still getting there. You're still too hot. You're getting more. Now, I'll move this so you can see how the polenta is cooling. So let me put you here and I'll bring the polenta over and shake it, and you can see it's starting to gel very, very nice. See, you can see it's pulling off the walls here, and it's gelling up really nice to where it'll hold its shape when I get ready to serve and pack lunches. And that's why you cook it the way you do, and you go through those steps to get that done. We're just waiting for the squash, and then the whole dinner's done, and that's it. listen, get off your high horses about it. You did not invent everything that you think you have. Every race offers something to the human race. Every person in their own time. No one race owns everything. And you swallowed up 2 tribes of the 12 tribes because there weren't a lot of them left. And you claim all of you as Jews, but you're actually 3 different groups. The other ones got punished, but God said he never forgot us. So you can't say that either. So you can't say Christians are wrong, because remember, it's the Jewish people who reported Christ and made sure Christ suffered the way he did. So you cannot say you're the smartest and the brightest or anything else, okay? So you can get off your high horse on that. I hate to put it to you in that fact, but it's very true, because any Christian can point the finger and say, what did you do to Christ? You betrayed him, and he didn't teach hate, he didn't hit anger or anything else. And another thing is that, well, let's not go there. I don't think you people could handle that. So always don't think you're like that, because there'd be a lot that you would have to pay for. You know, I don't look at myself as better than anybody. I still am learning at my age. I don't assume anything. People can assume that I'm this great cook. I don't look at myself as a great cook. I look at myself as a cook only, you know. So no one race has everything. Like, people still blame Germany for Hitler. Hitler was one man. His country was falling apart. He managed to unite them with an anger. But it was directed at one person. I should say one race of people. I always tell people, don't get on your mighty high horses. You'll get kicked off so fast. If you don't believe it, watch people. The mighty are brought down sooner or later because they think they're better. So always don't look at it like that. And here's the water for the squash. See what I mean? I'm not wasting the nutrients. And then by not adding the salt until I get ready to serve. And you see? I'm going to move the polenta over here. It's cooler here to cool all this down. And I have this here. That's it. We just have, that's going to be cooking for 2 to 3 hours. But once it's done, let's see what else they want us to do with this. Okay. All right, after you've cooked it about 3 hours, they want you to take the foil off and let it cook another 30 minutes, all right? What you want to do is reduce the liquid, but you don't want it dry, so if it reduces too much, add some more water or stock, whatever you prefer. And they say if your shanks brown too much during the cooking time, tint the pan with aluminum foil. That's the last 30 minutes. You're going to take the foil off. If there's no liquid or there's too little, add some water. I had more stock, knowing me. All right, and you cook it for 30 minutes more. Then that's it. That's all there is to the dish. So we're pretty much done. Of course, they're going to be cooking for another 2 hours. I'm going to move this over here. All right. We got to check them again. I don't think I'm going to take them out. I'm just going to peep. If they've got liquid, I'm going to leave them. If they don't, I'll have to add more liquid, and we'll see how this is going. Don't look at my dirty oven. I haven't cleaned it yet. Oh, that heat's hot. Okay, I'm fine. All right, so that's going to be cooking. Remember the last 30 minutes after 3 hours? Take the foil off. If you have no liquid, add some more liquid into it. Oh, that heat was hot. Okay, so that is it. And after 30 minutes, the last 30 minutes, when it's uncovered, then you can set it and serve it with the polenta. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, listen, I'm going to let all of you go. Mine's not going to be done until 9:30. And then I'll take the foil off, and then I'll finish baking it till 10, and that's when my dish will be done. I might do a short video and just show what the end result is of this dish, and you can look there and find it. Okay, Cheval, good morning, but I'm leaving now. And Pretty, I'm glad you think you can cook. As long as you're happy with what comes out through your hands, then you're doing a very good job. Name is Bland. Well, it comes up pretty, so that's why I'm using the word pretty. And Cheval, name this dish. This is just lamb shanks. Braised lamb shanks, served with polenta and vegetables, and that'll be the title of it, okay? Okay, so listen. Hi to D, but anyway, listen, all of you take care. And take care. Enjoy your day to the fullest. I always want you to enjoy your day to the fullest. Today in the Northeast, we got a lot of rain today, so I'm going to be indoors, staying out of it. Okay, fire. Listen, all of you take care. Bye-bye.